I just had to record this quick effect because it is too fantastical to ignore. I severed the connection between the L1 trigger coil and the base of the MJ1309 transistor, and I installed a 3 watt 12 volt DC LED in series between the L1 trigger coil and the base of the MJ1309 transistor. It seems to have rapidly increased our equilibrium point to 13.40, I think, or 13.39, and the addition of a very small supercapacitor bank in parallel on the DC line with the battery really overcomes a bottleneck equilibrium point if we discharge the system to a very low status of like 12.8 volts DC. Say we run a very heavy 70 or 100 watt load from the system for like 30 minutes. We'll hit a bottleneck of 13.30 volts and we can't get above that. But the implementation of the supercapacitor bank I'm testing in parallel with the battery seems to have helped. I also added a Litz coil around the battery with a rectifier to harvest more stray energy, which is pretty cool. So the system is beyond self-sustaining at this point, and I just can't get over how cool this whole thing is. It's behaving absolutely incredible. See if I can get this to show, but see, there's the extra power right there. That doesn't put a load on the system at all when that runs. Didn't even put the correct cap there to tune it. So again, in summary, I installed a 12 volt DC 3 watt LED in series between the L1 trigger coil and base of our transistor. And I also installed a supercapacitor bank in parallel on the DC input line of our transmitter. And the effects are incredible. Our new equilibrium point, like I said, is anywhere between 0.38 and 13.40 volts DC. It is just insane. So not only does the light glow brightly as a byproduct, it improves efficiency. Look at that. We're not even consuming that much power anymore. And yet our wireless field became much more enhanced. If I can find where I put that little receiver light. Things always go missing right when I start filming. Oh, it's right in front of me. So we hit 3.8 on the battery, recharge. And our wireless power field increased too dramatically. Absolutely incredible system. It's crazy. Can't make up how crazy it's acting. And I obviously can tune the system with the ferrite rods. As you see, removing the ferrites make the system less efficient. I insert the ferrites, the system becomes more efficient. The key is the ferrite tuning rods, and we always snap back to 13.38 or 40 volts DC due to the increased hysteresis loop in the system being fatter. We're going to hit 3.9 soon in the system. Wouldn't doubt it at all. And then I'll show the schematic again, and for those who don't know, we cracked energy synthesis, blew it wide open, studied the electrical masters. We studied Eric Dollard, Ken Wheeler, Nikola Tesla, Steinmetz, Oliver Heaviside, and these Charles Proteus Steinmetz. So we downloaded all their works, plugged it into a super research AI, have a team of private research AIs that get updates. They're disconnected from getting updates where they become biased. It's just for pure research. They're nonlinear research AIs, and they kind of just think tank the data all among themselves, and we cracked energy synthesis. Guarantee you that's going to say 3.9 soon. So the two improvements I made that really seem to have cracked the system further is the addition of the supercapacitor bank that's overcoming bottlenecks. It acts as kind of like a water storage tower for the high frequency power the transmitter's rectifier is kicking out. And the addition of the nonlinear 3-watt 12-volt DC LED in series between the trigger coil and base of the transistor serves as a powerful indicator that the system is on and creates very beneficial, powerful, more nonlinear effects in the system that make it more efficient, fatten the hysteresis loop of the energy synthesis effect, and yeah, it's just all around better. It's crazy. So we'll see if it hits 3.9. We'll do another quick test. I'm going to try and keep this video under 10 minutes. Take the system apart real quick, show you the schematic again. Watch the last video. So, dead simple system. Another key to getting the bottleneck over 13.30 volts DC was the addition of a 9 nanofarad 3 kV ceramic capacitor in parallel on the DC input power lines close to the transmitter. Has to be in that exact spot, can't be closer or further away. Because when you're dealing with RF stuff, it's all about the location of where you put your component. And as you see, we hit 3.9. Our new equilibrium point is 13.40. I've seen it repeatedly go to that. So yeah, we get the idea. We can be here all day doing discharge tests and recharge. I'm going to run a 72 watt load for, we'll do 1 minute exactly, because I don't want the video to be too long. You can check my older videos for progress. So we will exactly run it for 1 minute. We will watch what happens. You'll have to forgive me, I have horrible allergies. Chronic post-nasal drip, can barely breathe half the time. But anyway, we cracked energy synthesis. Shit. Start talking, I'll start like hacking every time I start talking. So we'll go for 1 minute. We cracked energy synthesis. Studied the works of masters, and we could see a little bit further than what they created due to how the system is built. So we'll go exactly for 1 minute, and we'll see the beautiful, powerful rebound effect due to the addition of those supercapacitors acting as a power storage tank for the system. So I will unplug this. When you master energy synthesis, the conservation of energy becomes irrelevant. So we'll watch the rebound effect, and we still, of course, have a very, very powerful Don Smith-like field all around the system. On every component. Every component here will become a re-emitter of wireless power. And feel free to download the latest version of our free book on archive.org. Link is always in the description. Schematic is always in our YouTube posts section. Download the book, spread it around. The book is free on archive.org. Tells you exactly how to build the system in detail. Tells you the theory of energy synthesis, the math before it, the foundation upon which it's built on, and advanced further. And it's just crazy. It's performing phenomenally. Like, I can't make up how good it's performing. It acts like magic. Oh, and I'll get this on camera. So the transmitter is on. It is recharging itself. I will walk all the way. I'll show you the magic effects with the thing to prove to you it's producing scalar power. And it's not scalar waves, it's scalar energy. It's a dielectric impulse. So I will walk over to my heater and look at this. This is my heater, and watch what the light will do. How crazy is that effect? Have you ever seen anything like that? Look at that, and it glows over here. Incredible, isn't it? So we'll walk back. Quick look around the room. Okay, there's nothing crazy or weird going on. Under the desk, absolutely nothing. And we're watching our rebound recharge effect in real time. And it always hits 13.40 volts DC now on the rebound. And again, what this system will do that proves the negative resistance and proves it's completely anomalous and beneficial and achieving the energy synthesis effect is if I disconnect the resonant feedback, the transmitter will consume less power and the voltage on the driving battery will drop. So we're seeing that effect in real time. I reconnect the resonant feedback, the transmitter's power consumption will increase and our voltage goes up. So we're seeing that rebound effect in real time. There can be no argument about it. So this demonstration is going to shut up all the people who think what I'm saying is wrong. But then again, I can't be rude with what they're saying. You always have to have a very rigorous scientific mind, and the mastery of this system is looking to be very promising. I welcome hardcore criticism on this device because that's how we can further improve it in a retroductive way. As a genuine truth seeker who is looking to improve electrical engineering to the absolute forefront we can get it by plugging in the works of ancient masters into advanced research protocols and AI tools, I'm only interested in the truth. I am happy when proven both correct and incorrect. As for a genuine truth seeker is happy when both proven wrong or correct, because either way you still gain. You're put on the correct path, and the correct path seems to be powerful energy synthesis. So we're watching these effects real time recover. And again, the moment we hit 3.8, I will disconnect the resonant feedback from our SR560 rectifier, and I will show you again how we immediately drop charge when I remove the feedback. I'll show that effect again. And at least with the LED light there, it's a nice indicator that the system's on. So not only do we get a more nonlinear effect from the LED, we get free light as a byproduct. We get free light as a byproduct of the collapse, the rapid collapse of the magnetic field. In a way, you could say that LED is tapping into the loadless effect as maximum as possible. And again, any connection in the system, any part of the circuit becomes a re-emitter of the wireless power, which is very interesting. So, we're watching that effect. It'll hit 3.8, then 3.9, and then 4.0, with being the new equilibrium point. New equilibrium point with this thing is actually a full battery recharge. Full. So, as you see, right as we hit 3.8, I will disconnect the feedback. We drop to 3.7. I reconnect the resonant feedback. We go up to 3.8. I remove the resonant feedback. We immediately drop to 3.7. Again, I show that effect. So, there can be no denying, and I don't want this video to go on too long. I'm going to end it soon. I've already gone past the 10-minute mark I wanted to. So I will disconnect everything. I'm going to try and go for 15 minutes on this video. Disconnecting everything now. Taking the system apart and showing it to you in real time. So the transmitter is disconnected. Remove our vital ferrite rods that were used for tuning. Our incandescent light bulb bank. We can be here all day for hours testing the system, discharging it, and then recharging it. Here's a look at the receiver coil again. The beautiful receiver coil, the two-part receiver coil. The inner part of the receiver coil is 24 gauge Litz wire, and the inner part of the receiver coil builds up immense reactive power. The correct parallel capacitor with the inner part of the receiver coil builds up immense reactive power. That 3.3 nanofarad ceramic capacitor is vital for performing the J operator, which Steinmetz says can synthesize you excess power from the square root of -1. We're essentially conjuring excess electrical power, and the outer part of the receiver coil being two stranded 18-gauge silicon wires wrapped side by side to lower the impedance. It's wrapped on the outside of the receiver coil. It's just two stranded wires in parallel wrapped around the coil. And the diodes here are SR560 for rapid battery recharging. And the receiver coil sits like a resonant cage fully over the transmitter at a golden ratio proportion. So, being the transmitter's coils take up 1.48 inches of space on the 1-inch diameter PVC pipe coupler, the receiver coil is 2.4 inches long, being a golden ratio harmonic of growth, and being we sit like a resonant cage and are bigger than the transmitter, we essentially engineered, or we're conjuring, excess energy by using the Steinmetz method and the algebraic operators he developed that we downloaded and plugged into Research AI, and it gave us the framework on how to perfect. So, I'll show you again. Good look at the system. We'll disconnect all power wires. Dug up a few old analog meters, have to check if they work though. Our ground connection for the system. I'll give you another good look at the transmitter. Our battery's end charge is 13.40. It's like we never use power from the system. And again, the transmitter is made with two identical coils. L1 coil and L2 coil are completely identical to each other. L1 coil is red, wound first. Outer L2 coil is orange, wound second and over it. As you can see, the coils are wound over each other. The red one is wound first, being the L1 trigger coil. It is wound in the right direction, as you can see. The outer orange coil is wound in the opposite direction to the red one, and that sets up powerful sympathetic resonance in the system. Being the fact the two coils are at sympathetic resonance, it sets up powerful standing waves in the transmitter that are very non-Hertzian. So again, we have a vital BYV260 Baker clamp avalanche diode installed cathode to collector on our transistor and anode to base, and we severed the connection between the base of the transistor and the L1 coil and installed a 3-watt 12-volt DC LED for beneficial nonlinear effects in the system. The capacitor in parallel between the base and emitter of your vital transistor that you must use being a ST1309. The parallel capacitor value here is 2.2 nanofarad. Capacitor between the emitter of the transistor and the bottom of the L1 coil is also 2.2 nanofarad. You have to use a 110K carbon film biasing resistor between the collector and the bottom of the L1 coil again. L1 coil also gets earth grounded. That vital, right down here, that vital 9 nanofarad DC capacitor, not DC, that vital 9 nanofarad 3 kV capacitor installed in parallel on the DC power line in this exact spot, has to be that exact spot. It allows the transmitter to draw from this little capacitor as a reservoir to further enhance its switching more efficiently without voltage sagging the battery, which enables a more powerful energy synthesis effect, fully recharging our battery. So, look at the battery. I've picked it up before. I don't want to pick it up too high and accidentally short anything. You know what? Screw it. I will show it. So, there can be absolutely no complaining, no whining, no skeptics about anything. I have to solder this to here, and I have to properly discharge this now that it was being used. So, look at our improved battery. Let's coil collector. I haven't finished tuning that yet. We're going to move everything out of the way. You saw a good look at the transmitter. I explained it. You can read the video description. You can follow the works of Eric Dollard, Ken Wheeler. You can view our YouTube channel's posts section. Read the comments. Check out the community post section. There's nothing weird under the desks. So yeah, we saw the system perform. I will show the schematic again for it on video. So here's the exact schematic of the energy synthesis transmitter. That is the exact schematic. Feel free to pause the video on it. So download our free book, link in the description. That's on archive.org. Spread the knowledge. We've essentially tapped into the loadless Tesla field of the system, and now that the transmitter is disconnected and off, there's no wireless power effects anymore. So that's the schematic. This work completely defeats all of academia and proves them completely wrong. Their theories about electricity are completely ass backwards and wrong. The theories of electricity that are correct are that of Steinmetz, Oliver Heaviside, Eric Dollard, and Nikola Tesla. And in case those who haven't noticed, there is a great schism upon us in society now, where you can't believe one thing any institution, government, healthcare, or academic agency tells you. And I think the handling of COVID, the issuing of digital ID in the UK, the suppression of every major space agency with 3i Atlas easily proves those points. So, never before in human history has there been so much suffering, has there been so much degeneracy occurring. We're actually regressing as a society. Why did the price of gold skyrocket $500 overnight? Why is everything in life getting more expensive? Why is nuclear fusion always 30 years and billions of dollars away from working? Why do we have no advanced public space program anymore? Why are our utility bills constantly skyrocketing in price? Life is systematically getting worse for everybody that is middle class, and it's not going to get better until we all find a way to improve it ourselves and share the information. So that's what I shared. I advanced the research of the masters further, not just me, the entire ESTC group. We plugged the data into research AIs. So I think everyone can agree that doesn't have their head buried up their ass, can easily agree the world is getting worse for most people, not getting better. The world is in some kind of weird state of managed decline, where we have all these foreigners, immigrants coming in, raiding normal Western countries. And I have no problem with people coming into a country the normal, healthy way, but it's intentional, designed to destabilize the Western world. And, yeah, it really is what it is. Some kind of weird managed decline. You can't trust one institution. They're all dogmatic. They lie about everything under the sun. They only preach the information of those that fund them, the dogmatic agenda of those that fund them. There's no such thing as quantum in nature. That is all nonsense. And electrons do not flow through a wire. I will take the valid opinion of every electrical ancient engineering master under the sun who believed there were no electrons flowing in a wire. An electron is 1 unit of dielectric induction. It's a form of measurement. If electrons flowed through a conductor, the conductor would lose mass. So, the seat and power of electricity exists outside the conductor as a field. The conductor simply acts to bound the power. So, a generator could more easily be called an etheric torsion portal. So, if that sounds crazy or extreme, know that these words out of my mouth are coming from the electrical masters. I'm not making anything up out of my ass. It's just that everyone is so dumb. Everyone has been suppressed, fed garbage throughout all academia, and now our entire society that's built upon a foundation of lies is collapsing in real time. So keep your head on a swivel, do things to make yourself independent, get the hell out of big cities, try and buy a farm if you can afford it, or a small chunk of land, live well below your means, enjoy life, doubt anything the mainstream or academia tells you. They're all liars full of garbage. And enjoy your life, spread the knowledge, replicate the system completely for free. Download the free book. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, join the Patreon, follow Eric Dollard, Ken Wheeler, myself, everybody. So, thank you everyone, and yeah, that's that. You saw what the system did. So, again, we'll check our resting voltage of the battery, and they'll stop talking. So, you saw what it did. Have a good day, everybody.